Hello, welcome to Behind the Storyboard.
Hello.
Today I'm joined by Kelsey Animated, a quirky storytime animator with some awesome quality work. I'm super excited to have you join me for this interview. I've been watching your content ever since you posted that sad song animatic 2 years ago. For those who might not know you yet, can you describe what kind of work you do?
I do. I do YouTube for a living, and I make funny story time videos, and that's basically all I do right now.
Awesome. So why don't we start with some of your background? Let's go back to the basics. Like, what first got you into art?
Well, it sounds so dumb, but My Little Pony. Yeah, I was in middle school. I was like around 12, 13 years old when I started like drawing for fun, like seriously, other than drawings you do in crayon for your mom to put on the fridge. Um, and it was because I got into like the My Little Pony fandom and I was like so cringe. But then I actually started posting my art on iFunny because that was really popular back then. Um, but then I transitioned to Instagram and I now have like 30,000 followers on Instagram, which is crazy. But in 2017, I started my YouTube channel because I got into musical animatics. Um, they're kind of like what I do now, but they were just songs from musicals like Hamilton and Heather's, stuff like that, because I got really into that and I was like, oh, I want to make some. So I started making them, and my first video on my channel is actually an animatic from Heather's. And then from there, I really grew on YouTube because it was popular at the time, and it just gained a lot of traction. And then I was like, oh, this is fun. So I started doing animation memes, which are little small projects that people do in animation, um, for like 30 seconds of music or something. It was just like really fast and fun. And I thought, like, oh, this is great. I can do this for a living. But then I started thinking, well, no, I can't because all of it's like copyrighted content. And I was like, well, I can just do my original content. I can be funny enough. And that's kind of where I am at now, where I'm making storytime videos, like hopefully funny stories that I experience in my life. Most recently, I did a video with my brother, and I thought it was pretty funny. I had fun editing it and everything.
Good to know. Yeah, that video is one of my favorites for sure. So nice. That's really good to know. And it's kind of crazy to think that actually, since we're the same age, during your middle school years, I started art the exact same way.
Really?
Drawing My Little Pony. And then, y- just getting into the hang of things. But that's awesome. Are there any fellow artists or animators that inspire you to achieve?
There's a lot. Mostly like the big ones like Domix and Odd Ones Out, Jade Animations. Those were the ones that I watched like first, and because they got big on animation and story time, I thought I can do something like that, and I wanted to, so I kind of am.
Nice. So I know for you personally, you have a lot of people who support your YouTube career. Your mom is precious, by the way. Do you feel that all the support has maybe hindered you, or do you think it's only pushed you to closer to your goal?
Yeah, it's actually really funny because my brother wants to do YouTube, and he's like 2 years younger than me, and he's trying to do like a gaming channel, and it's really cute. And my little sister also like looks up to me because I'm like quote unquote famous on like the internet for her. And my family is really supportive. It's kind of embarrassing because people that I don't see often, like extended family from like for like Thanksgiving, they're like, "Oh, so what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to college." And they're like, "No, but what are you doing? Like, what's going on?" And I have to explain to them about YouTube, and they're like, "Wait, how do you get money from that?" And I always have to like explain like AdSense and stuff like that. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm making money off of it. It's like my job." And they're like, "Okay." But it was like a really foreign concept, especially for like my parents and like older people like that, because they don't know what's going on. My brother, on the other hand, completely understood what was going on, and he was like, "I want to do that too." So maybe I'm like the first in my family to start doing YouTube.
Hmm. That seems to be
um,
going well.
yeah, so far it has.
Awesome. So your YouTube channel was started on March 11th in 2017. So passing 2 years now. How does it feel to look back when you first started, and how do you feel you've personally grown from that point until now?
I think that's crazy. Like 2 years ago, I don't feel like I've been doing it for 2 years. Like, I feel like I've been doing it for like a couple months or something, but it's weird. Obviously, my art has improved, and with Storytime, you kind of have to, like, from my transition into like putting myself out there, I was like pretty nervous. Like, I did an announcement video saying, like, "Oh, I'm gonna do Storytime videos now," and my audio was pretty bad, and my style has definitely changed, but over time, but like that's as expected. I feel like I'm put on kind of a persona, but I'm more like energetic and outgoing when I start to like record videos, and my humor has like evolved from like, like watching My Little Pony to now. But I think a lot of it has made me like more comfortable with like talking about experiences and like stories and like trying to be funny most of the time. But it helped a lot in that part, and I'm still getting better at it, but my script writing, that's a big part of it, and like pacing and everything like that. You have to like plan out what you're going to say. The first couple videos, I actually didn't write scripts, which was crazy. It's crazy to think of it now because I can't really talk unless I have something to like go off of. But uh, yeah, I'm getting better at like writing and like being able to tell stories a lot better, mostly.
Awesome. That's really good to know. So, how about we move on to the present? Like, what do you recommend people practice when interested into getting into the whole storytime animation work like you? And is there anything you wish you were told or knew when you first started?
Um, that it's not all about just like your art skills. I feel like none of it is really about your art skills. If you want to do like story time stuff, like stuff that I do, then I think a lot of it has to do with like the writing part of your story and like learning how to uh like actually tell a story. Um Mostly about writing and stuff like that, because you can have like a really awesome art style, but then if your story like doesn't have like, you could have really really good art, but then if your storytelling like is not very good, then the video is not going to be very good. Like the visuals can be awesome, but then your story could not be awesome, or like how you uh, tell your story could be not as good, and then people wouldn't really watch, I guess. My art style changes almost every video, kind of like Cypher 10. um, but I think that I keep improving it, and it's about the same. I just like, I don't have like the same characters for every single video. I like redraw them for the most part. But like looking at my videos back then, it didn't matter that my art is getting like better. It's mostly about storytelling, I feel like.
Okay, yeah, that sounds totally reasonable. So how do you schedule yourself to fit in personal time, school time, and work time? And any tips on balancing the three?
I don't have any of that. um, it's been really hard, especially when you're working like from home. You have to like set your own due dates essentially for yourself, like deadlines. And it's really hard to stick to them because you're like, no one is like telling me to finish this video by this certain time. But then later on, when you work with like sponsors or like merch companies, and they're like, oh, okay, when's your next video gonna go out? And you're like, I don't know. And so you have to get on it, get on your butt. And um, I have a really big problem with procrastination. I do always get myself done, but I always end up rushing everything at the end of it, and I regret myself for doing that. It's a lot better to pace yourself out over time. Like normally I would have like a whole month to do a video, but then like the last 2 weeks come around and I'm like, oh no, I need to record my audio. And it's like if I could spend more time on everything, then it would be a lot better. Like the content would be a lot better. So I am working on that. As far as school versus YouTube, like balancing that out, you already have like your due dates and everything set for it for like school assignments, but you kind of have to work around them a little bit so you can get your own work done at home. It's pretty hard. I don't know any tips other than like you need to stop procrastinating, kick yourself in the butt, you know. But yeah, I would just say like try to plan and pace yourself out. If you get like anxious around deadlines, because some people just work a lot more productively when they're under pressure or something. But if you can set due dates like, oh, by the end of this week, I need to get like this amount of time done on a video. Like, oh, on Friday, I needed to get like 5 minutes of my video done, instead of being like, oh, I need to get a whole 10-minute video by the end of the month. I'll do it all at the end of the month. It's better to put deadlines that are more realistic, closer, and more paced out over time, if that makes any sense.
Well, absolutely. And I mean, like, what artist is an artist without procrastination?
Exactly.
Hmm. What do you do when you get a case of art block?
I really don't know. Probably realistically scroll on TikTok forever. But I feel like doing a new medium is always fun, and like looking for inspiration. Like on Instagram, you can see like other artists' stuff, and you can. I usually like save things that I'm like, oh, I could do something that looks like this, but like with my character and like, just inspo. You would save it, and then later on when your art block passes, then you still have like all those ideas and everything so you don't forget. Because for me with art block, it's like maybe I have inspiration but then I don't have motivation to do anything, so I get all my ideas when I don't want to do anything, and then when I do want to do something and I have motivation to do it but then don't have the inspiration, I have it right there from when I didn't have motivation but had inspiration. But with trying a new medium, because I like to paint as well, um, usually when I'm like, oh, I don't really want to work on my computer because like I don't want to work digitally, I'm like sick of it, I would go and paint something completely unrelated to like my social media, my characters, anything like that, and just do like a Bob Ross style, kind of painting. But with Inktober, I used to do a lot of traditional art with like markers and ink and stuff like that. But Inktober came around and I bought some ink and like pens and liners and stuff. And I didn't do it the whole month, but like for the first couple weeks, I guess, it was really fun because I got this like new medium. I've never used inks before. I thought it was really fun. And, just changing up your different forms of media has usually helped me in art block like that.
Got it. Nice. I think I'll do the same thing. Like write down when I have inspiration but no motivation, and then when I have motivation but no inspiration. That sounds like a
Yeah.
really good plan. How do you think your relationship has affected your work with animation?
Relationship?
Hmm.
Like with Joey?
Yeah, with Joey.
um, I think it actually helps because, well, being in middle school, I got with him in middle school, and we were both obsessed with My Little Pony, and that's kind of the reason why we got together, is because we had a common interest, and that kind of got me into art, and he supported me and everything. And a big pro with that is like I have all these stories with him, and like I can collab with him on videos and like talk about different stuff with him, and he thinks it's really cool. He supports my YouTube channel and everything, obviously, but I don't think it's affected it in a bad way. I would say he's kind of like my partner with YouTube, because when I was starting up, my first couple videos were like about relationships and like how we got together and like stuff like that. So I think that kind of helped me in the long run, especially. I want to do another video with him, but I don't know. I just think that he's helped me a lot, and he's been with me throughout this entire like journey, I guess. I'm living with him right now while we both go to college, and it's been fun and entertaining because in my moving out video, I can complain about him, and he he just brushes it off. It's pretty funny.
Cool. What do your general day-to-day responsibilities look like?
Um, I get up, I go to class, I come back, I eat. I go back to class, I come back, and then I either work on homework that I need to work on, I procrastinate and just watch YouTube, and then I work on videos just depending on what I need to get done that day.
Nice. So, pretty common like in
Yeah.
the animator scene. School, sleep, eat, draw. Mm.
uh, eat, sleep, YouTube. Eat, sleep, YouTube.
So I know you had this entire situation involving personal medical issues. Has that situation affected your work and ability to work to this day? And was it like, oh no, I can't animate? Or was it like, oh yeah, we got more content?
It was kind of like a little bit of both. Actually, like to be honest, when it first happened, I didn't really like process it until like I came back, because I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but I had a stroke and it affected the right side of my body, so it was like slow and sluggish, and I kind of lost motor skills in my hand. So my obviously my handwriting was bad. Then when I tried to draw, I was like, this is really bad. But it didn't really like fully I didn't fully process it until after I had got home, and I had to do like physical therapy stuff, which I went to one physical therapy appointment and then I never went again because because I was like, well, I'm right-handed. It'll eventually get better over time, but I had that big hiatus because I was trying to recover. And then I actually recorded, when I went to record the video about the whole incident and why I'd been gone, etc., I tried to record the audio for it without a script. And it was like all over the place, and I couldn't figure out what happened first, and everything like that. And it was really hard, and I cried, and I was like, I think I'm gonna wait. Like, I'm not ready to talk about it because I'm still very emotional about it, and I wouldn't be able to work on it while hearing me like crying in the audio. And I was like, no one's gonna really want to watch me crying for 10 minutes, you know?
Hmm.
So I waited, I don't know how many months it was, but it was a very long time. And I was also going to school at this time, like high school. And it was just really hard for me to like really do anything. I kind of avoided drawing until my handwriting got better. And it helped because in my English class, my teacher would make us write every day. And there was this one assignment where we would write about, I don't even remember the topic, but then I was like, can I write about my stroke? And she was like, I mean, I guess. Well, she was like, it could probably help you like process all your feelings and like, like get everything written out and out of your system. So I wrote it, and originally the essay was supposed to be like 5 pages, and I wrote 20 pages. Yeah. And then I was like, well, now that I have all of that out of my system and my handwriting is decent, I could probably try drawing now. And it was okay. It wasn't as good as it was before, but I knew I would get better because I have been getting better in like my handwriting. But then I used that essay as a script and like two birds with one stone, so I don't know. It was hard for me to process. And because I was so young, the doctors told me that like I would be able to recover like fully or like 90% to what I was before. And it just took time to like heal it, I guess, to like get better and get all my motor skills back. But then when I used humor to cope with a lot of it. Like, there's this one thing where when I first got home and like met my family and everything, I was like, hey, wasn't there like a Family Guy episode where Peter has a stroke? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, can I watch it? And they were like, you just got back, go take a nap. And I was like, I want to watch that episode of Family Guy. But they thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, it was very sad. But after a while, I was like, yeah, I gotten better and I can talk about it now without like bawling about it. And then at that point, I was like, oh, I can talk about it for a YouTube video. And then because it was 20 pages long, I was like, I'm going to break it up. And I think I recorded like the whole entire thing. And it was like over an hour long. And I was like, maybe I should space these apart. Just like, so I did make a 3-part series kind of on it. And which was very nice to like get out of my system. Like writing the essay, doing those videos helped a lot with it. And then now I'm all better, basically. And the only thing that really affects me now with that whole stroke incident is like, when you're talking about something and then you don't remember what you're going to talk about and you kind of just stop. Yeah, my memory affects me just a little bit now, but it used to be like really bad. But yeah, I can get off in tangents, obviously, just like this. But stuff like that, I can kind of forget things. But other than that, I'm not glad that it happened, but it happened.
Memory in the rafters.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy how like, these kinds of like extraordinary situations that happen for normal people are like, oh no, or like, wow, that's like such an experience. But for animators, it's just like, oh boy, this is some good content.
Yeah. Where like on one hand, I wouldn't be able to draw for a very long time and being so sad for a couple months about it. But on the other hand, I can make a video about this and profit off of it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think are the most important traits and abilities to have when you're going into the field of animation, specifically in the YouTube community?
I would say like artistic ability, but I feel like you don't. That's not really important because you could draw a stick figure and then have like a bomb ass story, and then it'll like get really popular and like on trending and stuff like that. But I'm not outing anyone, by the way. uh, just a disclaimer, but like I said before, a lot of it is like storytelling and your ability to like tell a story in like an effective and like humorous way. My videos, I like to say, are like more comedy more than anything than like stories. I don't know, because the stories I like to tell are like really funny ones, or if they're not funny, then I'll make them funny. So I guess for me, most of it is like a sense of humor and storytelling, obviously, but more like it writing and pacing and like punchlines. I don't know. I just think humor has a big part to do with it. Obviously, talent and like art does help extremely well. But yeah, without a good sense of humor, then I don't know.
Yeah.
A good sense of humor is like a big part of it.
Okay. Let's see. What are your personal thoughts of the Storytime animator community? Is it positive or negative, and how does it affect you personally? Does it hold you back or only drive you to work harder?
For me, it's really positive. I really want to make friends with people. I have made with a couple, like a handful of people in the community, and I hope I can like collab with some of my favorites in the future. And like, it really, it does drive me because like those are the people that I look up to, and then like I feel like I'm a part of their community, and like they can see me and hear me, and I don't know, it just makes me really excited and all giddy and stuff. To be a part of like this community that I like watch and I like looked up to, and all these amazing people. I can always ask them for advice or stuff like that. So it's very nice for me to feel like I'm part of a community, and it does drive me forward because I want to be like them. That's so cheesy and stuff, but like it just makes me so happy to feel included in a community
Oh
because
yeah.
hell yeah, because in real life I don't really feel like I am, but on online I feel like I'm seen and I can be heard and people know about me, and I can just like talk to people that I normally wouldn't be able to talk to, you know?
Hmm. Cool. So, last two. What is one thing that you think you do really well in animation, and one thing that you think needs improvement?
To start off with improvement, I would say because my YouTube channel name is like Kelsey Animated, I feel guilty because my videos aren't really quote unquote animated. They're more like the animatics that I used to do. And that's kind of what I've stuck to. And I really want to like be able to learn how to like actually animate because I feel like such a fake, like a poser. But I saw a lot of other YouTubers doing kind of the same thing. So I thought, like, oh, I can do that. And I did. And if I had a lot more time, then I feel like I would do a lot better than and just like, here's a picture, here's a picture, here's a picture, you know, and make it like actually animated and put more animation into it. Because I get comments sometimes that are like, Kelsey animated. I don't see any animated anywhere. And I'm like, okay, boomer. Um, but yeah, if I had the right programs and the right and like enough time to work on like bettering that content, then I definitely would. And things that I would say that I'm good at, I'm still improving on it, but I think that obviously my visuals have gotten better, and I'm kind of settling into this one distinct style on my channel. But I think my storytelling is getting better, and my humor and my jokes. I like to put in memes in my videos just because I think they're funny. That's like the only reason. But I like to put in just funny little stuff like that. Like the Mozing, he has like a ton of little Easter eggs and like little memes in the back of his videos. And I want to be able to do that. And I feel like I've gotten a lot better at doing stuff like that. But I'm really glad that I have like I'm like settling in on like a distinct style so like people can recognize my art like even outside of YouTube. But then at the same time I want to improve on it. It's a love-hate relationship. But I think my storytelling is getting a lot better. Being in college and learning about writing and stuff, it helps a lot when you're writing a script and you want to tell a story about things like that. But good things, my style is finally like becoming distinct, and two, my storytelling is still getting a lot better. Things that I improve on, putting actual animation in my storytime videos.
Cool. Last one in the present. What do you consider success in the YouTube storytime animation community, and how do you measure it personally?
Um, I guess building like your own community and well, I have no idea because I don't think that numbers and stuff should have to do with it, but it kind of does. Just like because you're building an audience and people want to be able to like see your content and like really like want to see your stuff. But I measure it. I don't know. I guess the quality of your content, maybe. Or I don't know. This is a tough question because I don't really know how to.
So there's lots of aspects to it, in a sense.
Yeah.
So there's the part of building the community, but also realizing that while you have to have numbers, numbers aren't the only thing.
Yeah. I would say like uh having a I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of little things. Like being a part of the animation community, but then also being independent from the animation community. Like when people say they like uh I don't know. I don't know, this is so hard. Like not just being in a part of the community, but also like being like your own like self, something that like separates you from the community, but obviously you're still in it. So hard to explain. I feel like it's just a lot of different little things, like your own style, things that separate you from other animators. That's what I mean. That things that separate you from other animators, but also still being in a part of that community, and just putting yourself out there is a big part of it.
Yeah, nice. So what are your plans for the future as a YouTube slash animator, and what are you doing to achieve these goals?
Um, so I would like to keep doing YouTube. I love doing YouTube. I think it's so fun, and I get to like post almost whatever I want. Obviously, I have to be family friendly, but then the new COPPA thing I'm really scared about because YouTube is my dream, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it forever, which is pretty scary, especially since I feel like I'm just still starting out. Um, what was the question? Oh, the
So yeah, your plans for the future, and what are you doing to achieve these?
So I'm in college right now, and I am doing YouTube full time, I would say, or part time because I'm going to college. I don't know. But I'm going to college, even though it's just for my generals, I'm still like learning about writing and art and drawing and film and, getting my generals out of the way so I can get an associate's. And then I felt like transferring or going to like an animation school so I can learn how to actually animate, especially for my YouTube channel because it's what I want to do. But so far I'm doing my generals, and then I would like to go to an animation college, but because they're so expensive and I don't have the money for that, I might not be able to, or maybe my YouTube will take off and I won't need to go to college anymore. But I would like to keep doing it forever and be like an old lady doing story times, and it's just like about my grandkids or something. I think it's so fun, and I would love to keep doing it, but taking a couple animation classes would be good. even if it's just like on Skillshare or something like that. Um, I think it would be so fun to go to school for animation, but where I am right now, I don't know if I'll need to like pursue more further education or if I can just keep doing everything that I'm doing now and working at home and, easy life how it is right now.
Awesome. What are some socials people can find you on, and how can they support you in your career?
um, watch my YouTube channel,
Please
obviously.
subscribe.
Please subscribe and hit the bell. I don't have an upload schedule. I have an Instagram and a Twitter you can follow me on. I also have a Discord, obviously. And I recently came out with merch on crowdmade.com/collection/Kelsey Animated, I think. But on Crowdmade, I have merch that's just coming out, and mostly just watch my videos on YouTube. Hopefully, you'll like them if you don't know who I am.
Yeah, I was actually looking into your merch, and there's some great Christmas stuff, and I really wanted to actually get one for myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a sale from, I don't remember, November 28th to December 4th. You get 15% off. Those dates might be wrong, but um, it'll be 15% off and it's automatically applied when you check out. And I got some free samples for them and they're super warm. Sorry, I sound like a walking advertisement, but
Are there,
it's genuine, I swear.
are there any last words or pieces of advice you'd like to bestow upon all the artists wanting your wisdom?
Uh, I feel like I could use the wisdom. If you're thinking about doing videos, just do them. Like the hardest part about like creating content on YouTube is like actually making content and putting it on there. So if you just do it, then like boom, you're a YouTuber. And then I don't know, stop procrastinating and drink water.
Yeah, good advice for sure. I greatly appreciate the time and the effort you gave to make this happen. It was so wonderful to just have you. The links to Kelsey's channel and socials will be in the description below. Be sure to stay tuned for next time. Bye bye.
Bye.